would want open borders? Think, who would want men playing in women's sports? I mean, just think of this stuff. Think of this stuff. No, but who would want that? All the things.
Kamala Harris, apparently.
Yeah. No, she wants it. You know, you talk about like cars. I'm a big fan of Elon. Elon gave me tremendous endorsement. It's good, isn't it? Is it? You're gonna have to send a rocket up to get those people out of there. That's crazy. You know, he's great. I said, when are you sending a rocket up? Well, you know, Elon is a very different kind of a guy. As he thinks, he talks. Whereas a lot of people, you know, they want the words to be perfect and all, and they think less and talk more. Right? With Elon, it's like, well, you know, I'm doing a new stainless steel hub that can get us around the engines much quicker because there's a problem with the type of engine going into space nowadays. And I'm hearing but in the end, I think we can have a good hookup because of the new foils that are coming up. And I'm hearing everything that's going through his mind. But he's a super genius guy.
Oh, I loved that conversation that you had on Twitter. I listened to the whole thing. I thought that was absolutely fantastic.
I think we're going to do another one too. They had a number, like I heard 750 million. They had a number that was so crazy and large. And we had a good time. We talked for 2.5 hours. And it was the number one ever. There's never been anything like it in terms of people listening or watching or whatever. But he's a great guy. But I said to him, you know, the one thing is that, and I'm a huge fan of his electric car. I think it's incredible, his car. I think what he does. And I'm a big fan of electric, but they don't go far. And they are expensive. And China does have the material. We have gasoline, more gasoline than anybody else has I call it liquid gold. We have liquid gold. But, and electric absolutely has a place. You know, you have electric, but you have to have gasoline-powered cars and hybrid-powered cars, and maybe hydrogen is going to be next, who knows? But, you know, the things that they're proposing. You know, it's interesting. I mentioned men playing in women's sports. So the Olympics, we watched the Olympics, right? And did you see the boxing situation, right?
Yes, sir, we did.
So you had this beautiful champion Italian female boxer, and she was supposed to be very good against women. And I was watching it for some reason. I find it very interesting. And she was fighting a person that transitioned. And I wouldn't want to fight this person, but transitioned and met certain qualifications.
So can we talk about that for a second?
Yeah.
Because Elon, you're talking about Elon Musk. Elon Musk recently did an interview with Jordan Peterson, and he talked about the fact that one of his children has decided that they're transgender. He talked about the woke mind virus. When you look at Tim Walz, who is now Kamala Harris's running partner, he has made his state a sanctuary city, sir, which means that a sanctuary state, for children, that they can go there and have gender surgeries paid for by the government. And so I just ask you, there's been an explosion in the number of children who identify as transgender, and children are being taught that they were born in the wrong body. It's an incredibly abusive message to send. So let's talk a little bit about some of the things that you might be able to do as president.
Well, you can do everything. President has such power. It has such power. For instance, you could close the border. You don't need a bill. You know, they keep saying, well, just give us a bill. It's just they had the worst bill I've ever seen. It was a disaster. And they wouldn't have signed it anyway, because they do want open borders. They want to have open borders. They want to have all sorts of things that almost nobody in this room wants, who I think 85–90% of the country doesn't want if they actually
I absolutely agree with you.
But the transgender thing is incredible. Think of it. Your kid goes to school and comes home a few days later with an operation. The school decides what's going to happen with your child. And you know, many of these childs 15 years later say, what the hell happened? Who did this to me? They say, who did this to me? It's incredible. Just to finish that boxing, so the Italian girl is, and the left is not a hard punch for those of you not into pugilistic affairs. But a left is just sort of a guarding punch, right? So she's fighting this person that transgendered, and the guy, boom, hits her with a left. It was like she got hit by a horse. And then she backed up, and it was weird. She's sort of like, and then he hits her with another left, and she said, "That's enough, I can't take that." He ended up winning the gold medal. And there was another one who also transgendered, and he or she ended up also winning the gold medal.
He?
Yeah. Tiffany said it, I didn't. See, I'm a politician, I have to be politically correct.
I'm a mom, I have to protect my kids.
No, but think of it. So the two people, the transgender, the whole thing is crazy. Have you seen the swimming records lately?
Oh, my goodness.
How about the weightlifting records? That's one of the best. You know, a record that was like for 18 years, they'd put a quarter of an ounce on one side, quarter of an ounce, a little bit on one, a little bit, and thing held for 18 years. This guy walks along, what did he beat the record by 115 pounds? It's crazy. The volleyball, where a championship volleyball player is playing against a team, and one or two of the people had transitioned, and the ball was hit so hard into the head of the other girl on the other side that she was knocked out, had a concussion, and she said, she was a championship player, like an All-American player. She said, "I played volleyball all my life. I've never seen a ball travel at that speed." It's crazy. And even with all of that, they won't change. And you know what? Everyone's afraid to talk about it.
Not
even
me.
the people, not Tiffany. Not Tiffany.
We're going to fight to keep our girls safe, President Trump. We're going to fight to make sure that our girls have privacy and safety in their bathrooms. We'll talk about parental rights if we could for a little bit. We're a parental rights organization. And we saw Terry McAuliffe lose his bid for governor in Virginia. Remember that?
Yeah. I actually do remember that.
And he said famously that he didn't think that parents should be making decisions about what their children were learning in school. And we believe that every parent has a fundamental right to direct the upbringing of their children, right? And that includes their education. So what do you plan to do at the federal level to help us to protect parental rights and education freedom like school choice?
Okay, so I like to say that we're the party of common sense. I mean, we're conservative and all of that. Walls are common sense, right? All of the things we're talking about, no men and women sports, no gender operation. I mean, there's these operations, it's crazy. You know, I don't know if you know, Europe has gone totally away from it now.
Yes, sir.
We're way behind them. They don't do it anymore. And this is just horrible. But who could even believe this is happening? You know, I'm for parental rights all the way. I don't even understand the concept of not being.
Thank you.
No, but when you see some of the things...
Neither do we.
When you see some of the things, it doesn't... That's another, you know, like, why would somebody want to have an open war? Why would some... When you see some of the things that they want people to do in these school boards, and they become like dictatorships, and the parents are screaming for the life of their child, a lot having to do with transgender, a lot having to do with a lot of other things. You've got to give the parents truly love the kids, okay? Some of these people on the boards, I think they don't like the kids very much, what they're doing. So you have to give the rights back to the parents. And I can't imagine it. Well, okay, this administration has been the opposite. This administration, it's like the FBI goes after the people. That like it's some kind of an insurrection. It's
Yes, sir.
crazy.
They called us domestic terrorists, President Trump,
Can
for
you believe
speaking
it?
out at school board meetings defending
Well, we'll
our
change
children.
that on the first day, I promise you. No, can you believe it? You are not a domestic terrorist or a terrorist. We do have terrorists coming in, and they're coming in by the thousands, but you're not one, Tiffany.
Thank you very
We'll get
much.
that changed. And you know, the president can do that very easily. But you just wonder, where's the mindset to take the parents' rights?
Thank you for loving the American people. Thank you for working to make America great again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's all for today. Thank you. If you want global news to keep you up to date on any new developments, please subscribe our channel and forward our content with your friends on social media and email. Thank you very much for keep supporting me. Stay safe, be blessed. Namaste.
Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America.